Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brother Minister Cepeda, the founder and the operator of a holistic ministry that is designed to provide nourishment for you guys. That's designed to provide nourishment to you guys and to help you guys balance your lives with regards to mind, body, and spirit. So as we know, these things are interrelated, very closely interrelated, and they are dependent on one another more than most people realize. So visit my website at treeoflifeoutreach.com. Definitely read the bio and be inspired by it, whether it resonates with you on a personal level or not with regards to what you feel is right or wrong. At the end of the day, it's all about inspiration, and from that standpoint, it's totally awesome. It glorifies a Heavenly Father, and it allows me to do what I can do to encourage those who may be going through some challenging times. Also, familiarize yourself with the services. Again, it's a holistic ministry. So I achieve the balancing of helping you guys balance and synthesize your mind, your body, and your spirit through philosophical consultations, ISSA certified fitness training, as well as clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices. Other services that I offer include, that I'm very passionate about, includes youth and young adult mentoring and counseling, as well as inspirational and motivational teachings. Now I'm just going to go right into this video. I start every video that way, and I end every video the same way, which if this is your first time tuning into the channel, you'll see what that is just in a moment. You'll hear exactly what that is just in a moment. But subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. So we're going to talk about and speak with you guys just very briefly about gut health, stomach health. You know, this is a very, very overlooked area, even for those who are into health and fitness and wellness. You know, typically the person who are into health and fitness and wellness, and they're conscious of the importance of these things in their lives, they dedicate themselves with regards to getting to the gym and doing things of that nature. It's often overlooked. And obviously, if they're familiar with their health, they have more knowledge and more appreciation of their stomach health than just a person who probably is not necessarily engaged in prioritizing, their physical health. So it's important that we address this and realize the importance of gut health. We can't overstate this, guys, because gut health is the birthplace of all health. Every single thing about your health is dependent and is directly influenced by your gut health. That's your spiritual being, your attitudes, your cognitive abilities, you catching a common cold, you name it. Any and every area of your health is directly influenced by your gut health and or the lack thereof. Now this is truth, guys. This is truth. You know, your intestinal system, your gut, your stomach, this is considered by some of the most ancient of teachings, religions, philosophies, to be the second brain. So if you ever talking to an old school person or a new school person who has done some research, they may just flat out say, you got two brains. Because this is the complexities and this is the inner dynamics of the functions and the functionalities of your intestines. It's likened unto a brain. It's that complex. It's that complex, ladies and gentlemen. And the only difference is that you are aware of how to utilize your brain, and you're aware of what you're thinking and what you want to do and things of that nature. But your intestines, although it's unknown to us, we're just not walking around thinking about, okay, I got to do this to my stomach, I got to do that in my stomach, where you're aware of it in your mind and your brain. But your stomach is operating on levels and providing functions that are very similar with regards to how your brain is working. Your brain has to see things and analyze things and decode things and properly associate things, and so does your stomach. When you put something in your stomach has to decode it, it has to analyze it, has to properly assimilate it, appropriately associate it, break it down, put this here, put that there, store this, flush that out. So again, according to some of the ancient teachings, it's the second brain in the human body. And unfortunately, even for those who are in health and wellness, although they may have a bit more of appreciation and a bit more of a focus on it than someone who is not into health and wellness, they too often neglect it or don't give it the just due. Again, if we're talking about a second brain, then that within itself should shed some light on its importance and its relevance. So oftentimes you run around here thinking you have a whole bunch of weight to lose, and you don't. You don't have a lot of weight to lose. If you clean out your intestines, you will realize that that was basically the weight that you had to lose, / that was the waste that you had to lose, whether it was directly in food, unstored, unprocessed, unprocessed materials that was associated with the food, toxic buildup, just things that were not eliminated with the food itself. So you would be surprised if you clean out your intestines. That problem or that math that you couldn't do at school, bam, all of a sudden you get it. This person, the situation who used to so easily beset you, boom, all of a sudden it's nothing. All of a sudden you're sleeping better. All of a sudden your back pain goes away. Stomach health is the beginning of all health. That's just what it is, guys. When we hear this saying, follow your gut, you ever heard that? Follow your gut. Oftentimes we associate that with just, follow your gut on what you're thinking. No, that's just one piece of the follow your gut. Follow your gut is however your gut is doing, that's how you doing. Don't matter how big and strong you are. Don't matter how long you could jog. However well your gut is doing, that's how well you're doing. Because we know people that jog all day and all of a sudden just fall out and die. Not even from jogging. So how did this happen? This girl's heart was in excellent condition. They look at the heart and say, how all of a sudden did they die from a heart attack or whatever? And then they go a little bit deeper and they say, well, shoot, their doggone intestines. Out of, there's that word again, balance. Out of balance. You run around here getting occasional headaches, being mad at people, can't sleep, couldn't get the fatigued at work, couldn't solve the problem in school, all these different things. I challenge you to put some emphasis on your gut health. You say, well, how can we do that? Well, I was always raised to believe that you don't set forth and point out problems without at the same time attempting to set out solutions. If you don't have the solution, that's fine. At least set out what you think could be the solution. Encourage people to try and find a solution, whatever you could do. But you don't just set forth problems without making some effort to touch on the solution or the potential solutions. So obviously, we know that in order for us to do some things that can contribute to our second brain, it starts with our diet. Because again, obviously, your intestines is all about your diet. So it starts there. And good old-fashioned fruits and vegetables, ladies and gentlemen. Good old-fashioned fruits and vegetables. And try to minimalize whatever is appropriate for you, the amount of animal consumption. When I say animal, that includes all animals. Now, the only caveat is fish, you can kind of not consider it to be in that category with other animals. Kind of. When I say fish, I mean like seafood. Anything that comes from the water. But even that, if you're eating it every day, then take some days when you eat less and eat more fruits and vegetables, more rice, more pastas. And don't get caught up in this thing about, well, is it rice and pasta going to make you fat? No, it's gonna help you long term. I mean, we're not talking about sitting here eating the predominant amount of your calories on a regular basis from things like rice and potatoes. We're saying on certain days or every day, if you know you eat 10 pounds of meat, see if you can cut that back to 9 or 8. And if you want to get extreme, cut it back to 6 or 5. And if you just want to go all out, then just cut it out altogether. And if you're not going to cut it out all together, or you're not going to mess with it, you're just going to keep eating all that, at least include some fruits and vegetables to mitigate that. Okay? So make sure you get your fruits and vegetables, and then obviously your whole grains. Whole grains is excellent. Excellent, because it's going to provide you with a natural source, as is the fruits and vegetables, of probiotics. So zero in on fruits and vegetables, and also zero in on any kind of whole grain breads, whole grain rice, pasta, you name it. I think I'm gonna have me some whole grain rice this evening. So include that. And then obviously, again, the exercise is going to produce a inner remedy, for search of a better term. It's going to provide some inner benefits to help your system, your second brain, naturally flush itself out and balance itself just based on the hormones that your body is releasing from that exercise. So I did an exercise video. I'm going to follow it up. I did an exercise video the other day, and I said, hey, look, how often should you train? Every single day. Every single day. You don't have to necessarily get up and have a training routine every day, / lift weights, jog, walk. You don't have to do that every day, but you should do something consciously that's going to get your body up and get your body in motion. As long as your body is in motion over a period of time, that's considered an exercise. I don't care if you're dancing, if you're jumping up and down in one spot, if you're walking back and forth to the mailbox. So it doesn't have to be a structured exercise routine, but you should exercise every single day. Your heart don't take a day off. Your heart don't say, well, I worked out 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row. Your eyes don't take days off. Your ears, none of that. Your mouth. Your hands, you don't go 6 days, 5 days in a row and say, man, my hands need a day of rest. You eat every single day, except for those who may be fasting from time to time, or during the month of Ramadan or whatnot, or they fast for a couple of days a week, but you eat regularly. Outside of that small population of people, you eat every day. So sidestep this notion, this mythological creature that you're going to overtrain. You're not going to overtrain. The only way you're going to overtrain is if you undereat and if you undersleep. Your body needs to eat to recover, and your body needs to sleep to recover. And as long as it's doing those things appropriately, then there's no such thing as overtraining. You can work out till the cows come home every single day of your life. And if you're getting the appropriate amount of sleep and the appropriate amount of nutrients, there's no such thing as overtraining. So exercise is going to, based on the hormones that your body is producing, is going to nourish your second brain, your intestinal tract, and it's going to help it not just flush out the food, because our bodies also need to flush out the toxins, the byproducts of the food itself. There's a lot of byproducts. There's a lot of chemicals that they put in our food nowadays. And if you're not getting your meat and your vegetables, and you're not if you're not getting your fruit and your vegetables, you're not exercising, you're not getting any foods that have probiotics and prebiotics in them, then your body's just basically eliminating the food, and it's not even doing that efficiently and effectively as it could. And it's certainly not doing anything to remove the chemicals and the toxins and the things of that nature. So try and knock out some fruits and vegetables. And if you know you're just a meat eater, then eat your meat, but mitigate it by taking in some fruits and vegetables with it. And if you keep just being aware of that process, then there will be a time where you say, well, you know what? Hey, I really don't need all this meat. I ate all this meat yesterday, or I always eat all this amount of meat. Today I'm going to cut it back a little bit. I'm going to eat just a couple more pieces of fruit or vegetables or whatnot. See, we don't have to have goals. The goals are going to achieve themselves. We have goals, but it's not about necessarily achieving that goal in that instance, in that moment. It's about progressing, just progress. The goal, you're going to get to the goal. You ain't got to focus on the goal, just focus on progressing. So focus on progressing. I'm going to put this fruit on my plate for now. I ain't going to eat all that meat. That's fine. I guarantee you, if you do that enough times, it's going to come a day when just naturally, without you even planning it, you're going to say, well, I'm going to eat a couple more pieces of fruit. That's progress. And that gets you to your goal of taking your meat count down or eliminating it altogether if you so choose. Whatever fits for you. But you have to prioritize your gut health. Okay? Because all of your health is born. Eyes, your ears, your emotions, your heart, your brain capacity, anything that has anything to do with health is directly affected and directly influenced by your gut health. Another thing you could do may not necessarily be that easy in this day and time, but you can do your very best to lower your stress. because stress builds up all kinds of toxins and hormones in your body that coerce, that has an influence on your second brain, that has an influence on your gut. And just by you being under stress, your body is again releasing hormones that are counterproductive to good gut health. So try and do what you can to release or to lower your stress. I know it. We in a day and time, they talking a pandemic, riots in the street, economic collapse, bad weather, bad associations, bad relationships. We're being bombarded every time we turn on the news about something that's, what's termed as bad. So it's not easy. But whoever said it was going to be? No one ever promised me that it was going to be easy to be successful, to be yourself, to achieve your goals. No one ever said just do this, it's going to be easy. So what? It's not easy. You're going through it anyway. You might as well go through it with a goal. You might as well go through it focused on progress. And the good thing about lowering your stress is if you really want to lower your stress, you can kill two birds with one stone, because exercise is the granddaddy of stress relievers. So you can be getting your exercise and relieving stress at the same time. Body boom, body bing. Now if that ain't a win-win, then there's no such thing as a win-win, and we all know that there is indeed a such thing as a win-win situation, and that's one of them. So do that as well, guys. You hear a lot of people talking about antibiotics. If you can stay away from antibiotics, stay away from them, because they have a direct negative influence on your internal, your intestinal system. So if there's something that you need antibiotics for, then by all means you should consume those antibiotics. But if it's something that doesn't require an antibiotic, then don't take them, because they can be very harsh on your digestive tract. Again, probiotics and prebiotics, these things are excellent. But if you're doing the things that you should do and can do, getting your whole grains, getting your fruits and vegetables, exercising, trying to reduce your stress, making sure you lower your stress level, then you don't need any probiotics. You don't need pre or probiotics. You just need to be doing what you can do, because taking those things unnecessarily can have an adverse effect. So you don't want to be taking probiotics consistently and constantly, like this is a part of your daily regimen, and you don't need to. Some foods we have are just loaded with probiotics. You buy a drink, it's a probiotic, it tastes good, fine. You like that drink, fine. But if this is something that you're including in your day and you're doing all these other things that you don't need that, then it could have an adverse effect. So if you aren't doing some of these things or most of these things, then you probably should constantly look for drinks and beverages and things of that nature that have probiotics in them. Again, but if you're already doing some of these other things, you don't need to worry about that. So that's basically what I wanted to touch bases with you guys about today. It all starts with knowing the importance of your digestive tract, knowing the importance of it, knowing the pros of why you want to keep this thing in the absolute best health that you can, why you want to nourish it, why you want to keep it clean and functioning appropriately, and you want to be aware of the consequences and the ramifications of what happens when you do not. Because again, I challenge you guys, studying for hard tests, can't get the lesson, fatigued here and there, back pains, you got, ear gets infected on a regular basis, common colds just pop up out of nowhere. Some of you guys are, having sexual issues and sexual dysfunction. I challenge you guys for any array of things that have anything to do with your health. Start taking care of your gut and watch it all improve. Watch it all improve. That's what I got for you guys. Again, I am Brother Minister Cepeda, and I do not know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. For all you guys that have never tuned into my channel before, here's how I close all of my channels, all my videos. You're aware of how I open them, and now you're about to be made aware of how I close them. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, check out the website, and be encouraged to spread that message of hope and inspiration to all those who can afford to be or encouraged and can afford to have added inspiration. So the way I close all my videos is this, and this is the truth. If you're feeling bad, I challenge you to go make somebody else feel good. And I guarantee you, boom, faster than that, you'll feel better. Instantaneously. The moment you go make somebody else feel good, you can't help but to feel good. So if you're feeling bad, that's what you should do. Not talking every time you just feel bad about something. You run out and go try and make somebody. No, sometimes we're supposed to feel bad. There's a time for us to feel bad. So we don't get up and just run from that. That's what's wrong with society sometimes. In our collective society, people are just so afraid of feeling bad, and there's a time for us to feel bad. We're said 80% of the times we should be thinking and being committed to being positive and encouraging. And then 20% of the time, we need to be holding ourselves accountable for the things that we didn't do, the things we didn't achieve, the things we're not giving our all at, the things that piss us off legitimately, that angers us. So there's a time for that. But again, here's that word, balance. And my teachings, my study, my research, my experiential philosophy says that the appropriate balance between those things is 80-20. 80% of the time you should be encouraging yourself and thinking grateful thoughts, loving thoughts, and then 20% of the time you should be holding yourself accountable for whatever shortcomings it is. For the girl who pissed you off at work, you need to embrace that, because again, how are you going to develop strategies for her to not piss you off if you just run around here 80% of the time? Instead of being at 80, you trying to force yourself into 100% of the time. Rise above it. Think kind thoughts. Be blissful. Know there's a time for you, 20% of the time, to sit down and confront that head on. You don't like her. She irritates you. She aggravates you. She makes you sad. Whatever it is, face it for that 20%, so you can develop strategies, so you can learn from it and grow from it. I can't think of very much growth that's not born out of pain and discomfort. From giving birth to riding a bike to a rose, having to push through much mud before it's giving birth and reach the sunlight. So remember that as well. Now, the second part of this is, and these are truths that I actually live by myself, guys. So, some lady at the cash register who knows she's being a total jerk, some clown who's mean mugging me and trying to, entice me to some kind of battle. Hey, look, I got something for you. I'm not going to feed into that, because I may already not be feeling good. So I've learned the trick of how this thing works. So I'm just my Heavenly Father, the Divine Spirit, is going to single you out, or single that group of people out, because I know I can afford to feel better, and I figured out the trick. I'm going to make you feel better. Mr. or Mrs. not feeling good, who's feeling bad to begin with, and trying to direct it towards me. No, 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 no. I've learned the trick. And whether you're directing it towards me or not, you could just be some old man, some young lady, some teenager. It doesn't matter. When I see you feeling bad and I know I'm feeling bad, oh, I got something for you. I'm about to make you feel good. See? So I challenge you, if you're feeling bad, go out and make somebody else feel good. Boom, see what you start feeling better. Now, if you're already feeling good, well, there's an answer for that too. Because if you're already feeling good, and then you go out and make somebody who's feeling bad feel good, then you go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal. Boom! A lot quicker than that. That's just the way this thing works, guys. That's just the way this thing works. And so these are the truths that I live by, and that's how I close every single video, and that's how I open every single video. You guys stay blessed because y'all are blessed. Remember, you gotta know that you're blessed in order for you to be blessed. So y'all have a happy, harmonious, strong, positive, and a day full of growth and constructiveness. Whatever bitterness, whatever sadness that may come along, there's a time in the season for that as well. Put that 20% into it. Boom, jump back onto that 80%. And stay focused, okay? I am Brother Minister Cepeda, and I love y'all. Peace.